Hi, and welcome to our training video on how to use bank feeds. Through the course of this video, you will learn how to use the bank feeds feature in Jim2 to help you speed up entering creditor and debtor transactions, as well as performing bank reconciliations. This feature is available from Jim2 version 4.4 and onwards, and does not require any additional Jim2 licensing to use. To use bank feeds, you will need to have downloaded a list of transactions from your bank in CSV format for importing into Jim2. You will also need to link at least one bank account in your general ledger to the bank that it represents. To set up the account in the general ledger, go to Accounts, General Ledger, double-click on the bank account you'd like to use for importing, and change the drop-down for the Transaction Import Bank to suit your bank account. The entries you see represent a default for how the sheets from those banks are set out, and therefore how they will be imported to Jim2. There are several options here, which cover all major Australian banks, but if you find that your bank isn't listed, please let us know. So now we have our CSV from our bank, and we've set up our GL account. Let's take a look at how we can use this feature. Go to Accounts and Bank Feeds. First, we must select the account that is associated with the bank account. Now that this is set, let's import our CSV. Click the button in the top left of the screen and select your file from the directory. Once it is imported, you'll see that the left-hand side of the screen populates with the bank transactions. The bottom section will show the matched transactions, and the right-hand side will show unmatched Jim2 transactions. Jim2 will attempt to auto-match as many transactions as it can using the following hierarchy. It will check the card code and name on the account, invoice number, contact information, and payment number, as well as the amount of the transaction. There can be false positives. For example, a line could contain ATO, but this string of letters could be found inside the name of a card file, so you will need to confirm the matches. Please note that the date of transaction has to be plus or minus 4 days. We recommend this process as a daily task to ensure that you can auto-match as much as possible. The transactions that auto-match will move to the bottom of the screen, leaving only unmatched or partially matched items in the left and right parts of the screen. If you find an auto-match that is incorrect, simply highlight the match and then click Unmatch. To manually make a match, select the transaction on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and then click Match. You may find that there are transactions on the bank side that do not correlate with any transaction on the Jim2 side. This may mean that there is not a transaction yet created on the Jim2 side. In the middle section, there is a Create button. This button will allow you to create transactions while matching to help make the process more efficient. This button will allow you to create the following types of transactions: debtor's payment, creditor's refund, bank interest, bank transfer, deposit, and general journal. When creating most transactions, Jim2 will take you to the relevant section of the program. When creating a debtor's payment or creditor's refund, however, you will get an additional screen in which you can further attempt to match transactions. This screen will bring all unmatched transactions from Jim2 into view so that you can either search for the correct transaction or add a new payment. The debtor's payment and creditor's refund screens function in largely the same way. Using the tabs, we can search between completed unmatched payments, or if you need to create a prepayment, any jobs that have not yet been completed. One of the main differences between these screens is that the debtor's payment screen can auto-apply amounts to unpaid debtor invoices, and you can search by BPay reference. If you're unable to find an existing transaction at this point, you can add a payment by adding a card code and payment method, and then clicking Create Payment. Most information will pre-populate, but you will need to make sure that the information is correct before committing the transaction. There is also an Ignore button, which will allow you to select a transaction on the left or right-hand side of the screen to hide the entry. You can still see ignored transactions if you tick the checkbox under it titled Show Ignored. When you have added as many matches as your time allows, you can click the Confirm Matches button in the bottom right of the screen. If you have the checkbox ticked to Open Bank Reconciliation after confirming, then this will open. On the bank reconciliation screen, if you look for the date that you've performed the matching, you will see a tick in the Reconcile column against each of the entries. Click Save and that will complete the process. This concludes the training video for bank feeds. Thanks for watching.